Hey. It's another day.
It is, isn't it?
Another Monday, another podcast.
You know?
From yours truly. And yours truly.
Right? Both of us. You guys are so lucky.
All two people.
Should be honored.
Listen, one day we're going to be famous. They're going to be listening back on us like, oh, yeah. I remember that podcast about drugs and alcohol.
This is true. We gotta delete the political ones then.
Ooh. No, they're on the internet forever.
Oh, God. Might get us in trouble.
Seriously, some Democratic president 50 years from now is like, hey, remember that time that talked about politics
I'd be like,
on your podcast?
Yeah, I do, actually.
I don't think that you should get that movie role.
Like, Dave, you can't direct that movie. I heard your political stances.
All right, well, you know what? I'm worth millions of dollars, so I'm just going to do it on my own. Pull a promise on him?
Boom.
Yeah, that's right.
Take it into our own hands.
You know what? I don't need $60 million to be happy. I grew up in Michigan.
$1 million is fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd be happy. Happy with my Ford Escape and iPhone 11.
You know? That's all we need in life.
You know, not food or water.
No.
Or air.
No.
Shelter, clothes.
Who needs oxygen?
No. Did you do any, I was thinking about this on the way here, but did you do much Black Friday shopping? Are you a Black Friday shopper? Cyber Monday shopper?
Not a Cyber Monday. I'm more of Black Friday.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I don't really go crazy because,
No.
I don't know.
You don't trample people at 5 a.m.?
I do not.
In the Walmart parking lot?
No.
Getting a TV that's $5 off?
Right? Right?
You know what I did? I had the day off that day, so I slept in. Left at like, I don't know what it was, like 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
By that time, like, all the crazies were out of there.
Oh, that's what we did this year.
Yeah. And you know what? I got stuff that I needed.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
The lines weren't too bad.
Yeah, I went to the mall, and, I mean, there were a few shops that were lined up out the door, but those weren't even shops that I was going to.
Did you go to 12 Oaks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went
that's good.
Yeah, I went to Eddie Bauer. That was fine. I walked right in.
Were there a lot of good deals at the mall?
Yeah, Eddie Bauer was 50% off the entire store.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I know, like, Lululemon was out the door.
Oh, I bet. Because I know they had good deals, so everyone
they?
was probably lining up.
And, of course, the Apple stores, you know.
Always.
Always. I mean, on a normal day, that's insane.
Yeah.
Oof.
For sure.
Which is, like, at that point, why don't you just buy something online? I mean, what are you seeing in store that you can't see online for an Apple?
Although I will say now they have this new thing where they hooked up with, it's not, you can do, so what's the other one? It's Uber, and then there's another.
Lyft?
No, it's like, not Uber, oh my gosh. It's like a meal delivery.
Uber Eats? Oh, DoorDash?
Yeah, but it's another one. Oh, maybe it is DoorDash. And
HelloFresh?
I thought it started with a P.
Postmates?
Yeah.
Postmates. Why do I know this stuff?
So now Apple has this thing. I don't know if you remember this. Where if you buy something, Postmates will pick it up from the Apple store and bring it to your house
really?
the next day.
I thought they did food.
Apparently now they have a contract with Apple. Except, so I did that over the summer because I was getting an Apple Watch. And the guy at Postmates stole my Apple Watch.
Ooh.
Said it was delivered and everything. It was not.
Right?
No. So maybe people don't trust that system, so they actually have to go to the store.
For something like Apple, though, like...
Well, that's what I didn't know when I did the one-day delivery.
Yeah.
that it was through Postmates.
Yeah.
I just thought Apple had its own
Yeah.
carrying service. And then when it didn't show up and I found out it was Postmates, I was like, oh, I wouldn't have done that if I would have known.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust Postmates with like, it's like a $200 or more items
Right.
at Apple. Why would
Yeah.
you?
I don't know.
Anyway.
For stuff like that, I would go to the store for something like that just to make sure I get it.
I usually do.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of money.
Right?
So.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm on this weird tangent today.
Yeah, we always do. At least it's not political. Speaking about politics, I'm kidding.
I was like, oh God.
No, not today. Satan.
Not today, Satan.
The satanic cult, otherwise known as politics.
Ah. I mean, that's a pretty accurate comparison.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Who are their followers? The media?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
They spread the cult.
Social media? There you go. Is this video going to get taken down from YouTube?
Probably.
We'll see. So we're doing, we had this idea. We were talking about it, like, because we're fans of, like, classic rock from the 70s and 80s, you know, Aerosmith,
Yeah, we are.
Guns N' Roses, AC/DC,
Queen.
Poison. And we were talking about how insane it is that so many of these bands, most of them, were just so ridiculously into, like, drugs and alcohol.
Right.
Like, because, okay, I'm sure any musical artist, anyone in the entertainment industry, like, has probably dabbled in some of that stuff, but not to the level of a rock star from the 70s, right?
Right. Well, and I even feel like there's some in the 70s that even had more of a reputation for it than others. Like, they all did it.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, if you think about it, like, you know Ozzy has a reputation
Right.
for it compared to the others.
Yeah. Well, you take, like, Ozzy Osbourne versus Bon Jovi. Like, who is the one with the problem?
Right.
Yeah, right?
Like, you know Bon Jovi probably smoked weed.
Yeah. Probably
I don't
had
know.
one too many drinks every once in a while.
I don't know about that, actually.
He got into some alcohol, but
Did
I
he?
mean, like, not Ozzy Osbourne level, but...
Did he? I thought, oh. I know he didn't have, like, that problem with it.
Right. That's the thing, is, like, I feel like they either didn't have too bad of a problem or they just wrecked themselves every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
For
we
sure.
can go over each one, but, like, I heard that, like, Slash drank, like, half gallons of liquor at a time, like, in a day, and went out and performed on stage.
But, and then you think about, like, I think that right there shows their level of how much they did it. Because in order for you to build up that tolerance and still go on stage
Yeah.
and perform, you have to be drinking a shit ton.
Yeah. And
Because,
how
like,
long
if I drank that, I would be passed
Yeah.
out.
No, you'd be probably in the hospital.
Well, that too. That too.
I mean, to think how long it must take to build up that tolerance, to be able to drink that much in a day and still be able to go on stage and perform.
It's insane.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, they do it for years.
Yeah.
And they're not even just drinking. Like, half the time, they're drunk and high.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Right. They're
Like-
just doing all of it.
Right. Like, and if you think about it, like, oh my God, my addiction teacher would kill me. I can't remember. I think alcohol is a depressant, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, probably.
So it just blows my mind that, like, people like Ozzy, Slash, like Steven Tyler, Keith Richards, like, how are they all still alive? Because you know they were mixing stimulants and depressants.
Right.
So their system is probably like, what
Yeah.
What are you doing to me?
Right. Yeah, and I mean, we were saying that like some of them like lately have gotten sober and stuff. Like Slash has since 2005. Who did you say Steven Tyler did? Yeah.
He's been sober. Oh my God, I want to say somewhere in between 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so is Ozzy.
Yeah.
Keith Richards, not so much.
He started partying, just never came back down.
His says he's sober from heroin, in quotes. But he still drinks and does weed.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Right. So I read that Angus Young, who was the guitarist from AC/DC, never really did drugs.
Which is, like, mind-blowing.
Yeah, which I don't know if anyone out there can confirm that, but like, that's what I read, so... I believe everything on the internet.
No, but you know what? When you said that earlier, and I don't remember where, but I remember hearing that they weren't as crazy into drugs as other bands were.
Yeah.
So,
they seem like they would have been.
Oh, for sure, right? For sure.
Yeah.
The one that kind of surprised me, though, was... I mean, I knew he did drugs. I'm not that naive. But I guess I just never really knew much about him, so I didn't know to the extent of his drug use.
Yeah.
Was Steven Tyler. Like, that actually, I was more like, whoa, I didn't know he was that heavily in drugs.
Yeah. And he still gave birth to Liv Tyler, which, how did that happen?
Right?
That doesn't make sense.
Good genes, apparently.
It's like an alligator giving birth to, like, a butterfly. Like, that shouldn't work, but apparently it happened.
He wasn't bad looking back in the day.
Oh, really?
I guess, maybe. But I read somewhere that he... Oh my gosh. Where is it? He spent $6 million, he thinks, on drugs.
Yeah.
In his lifetime.
Right?
Like...
It's a lot.
just a little bit. Like, just think about the amount of drugs that's $6 million.
Yeah.
Like,
frick. That's just crazy.
And he's overdosed a couple times.
Yeah.
Like, almost died like 3 or 4 times. Like,
right.
Got kicked out of the band. And that was a theme I saw. I don't know if you noticed, like, probably not with Slash, but I don't know. Like, both Ozzy and Steven got kicked out of their band because of drugs.
Well, Slash left for a while.
Was it because of drugs?
I don't know. It might have just been, like, on his own, but he said that, I guess, during the time when he was not with Guns N' Roses, like, that was, like, his lowest point.
Mm. So he was doing more drugs?
I think so.
That's what Ozzy said, too.
Wow.
He's like, when I got fired, I sealed myself up in a hotel room for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And was just on drugs and partying the whole time.
Right.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Glad you were just high literally every day for 3 months.
Yeah, right. We just printed out, like, some notes and stuff about our guys. But one thing about Slash, he did like his heroin. Yeah.
He liked the hard drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Had it when he was young, like in late teens, early 20s. He said he wasn't trying to impress anybody. It wasn't peer pressure. He just did it for the experience.
'Cause, you know.
Right? He said, like, no other drug captivated me as much as heroin. I could always take or leave coke or alcohol, but heroin just sucked me in.
Yeah, there's always one.
Yeah.
There's always one that,
Yeah.
Preference.
Right?
Like I think both Ozzy and Steven were more coke.
Okay. Not Slash.
They,
I don't know.
Like, Steven, what did Ozzy... So Ozzy actually said that he was, in the late 70s, he was on booze, coke, heroin, acid, Quaaludes, glue, cough syrup, Rohypnol, Klonopin, Vicodin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and a couple times I was on all of them.
Right.
At the same time.
You know what? Gotta see what it's like, man.
How does your system take all that?
Well, it shouldn't.
But they said, even though Black Sabbath did a lot of drugs,
yeah,
Ozzy, beat them, all the other members, out by, just...
Oh, I'm sure.
Intensity and volume of the drugs he did.
Yeah. What was that part that you sent me earlier?
Oh, about, which I don't know why. But apparently some researcher, I guess, was trying to figure out how Ozzy was still alive.
Right.
And they found, which I knew, they're finding a gene that can be kind of...
Gene Simmons?
Yeah.
Kiss?
That is, it's not necessarily, a genetic, meaning if you have this gene, you're an alcoholic, but
right.
It's, a gene that, finding that's predisposed to alcoholism.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that Ozzy had that. I think it was, that he was a genetic mutant.
Hey, there you go.
Because he had... So, what the article says is I don't know what ADH4 is. But... Oh, it's a protein called... that breaks down the alcohol.
Okay.
And so, he has, his differed... So they think because he has that gene is a little mutant, he breaks down alcohol faster, so he's able to tolerate more.
Okay.
So they're thinking that's why, but that doesn't,
I mean, it's still a lot.
Well, that doesn't even count for okay, but he just wasn't drinking. He did
yeah.
Literally.
Everything.
Every single thing. Yeah, your system is insane.
What fun.
To
be a rock star in the 70s and 80s.
Right? Well, and I was watching this interview with Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
And I wondered, I didn't get a chance to look into it much more.
Yeah.
But he said something that kind of sparked my curiosity, because he said managers back in the 70s and 80s, he didn't say if it's still happening now, but he said they'd want their rock stars to be high.
Oh, fun.
They'd encourage it. They wanted it because they would do drugs with you.
Right.
With the talent. They would do them.
Yeah.
So they were super high. But when the, when Steven Tyler was super high.
Right.
That's when they'd have him sign contracts.
Yeah.
Because if you're super high, you're not going to look at the contract and be like,
right.
no, I'm not giving you 50%.
Right.
But if you're high, you're like, okay, let me sign it.
Let's be honest. These days, as greedy as people are, I'm sure it still happens.
Oh, 1,000%. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
He didn't... He was on Joe Rogan when he said that, and Joe Rogan was trying to, say, oh, is it still happening? And he kind of skirted around it.
Yeah, which means yes.
Which means yes. It might be a little worse back then. But that was interesting because I'm like, is that where, like, why it's so, like, drugs and alcohol are so prevalent in rock and roll? Because their managers encouraged it?
I'm sure.
And liked it?
Yeah.
When they were?
Yeah.
I don't know.
On a little 5-second tangent here, you left your mask in my place the other day, so I brought it along.
Oh, thanks.
There you go.
Thanks.
I just threw it in Andrea's face.
He's so rude.
Sorry, broke your nose there. So Slash died briefly.
I was like, wait, what?
Getting back on track.
I was like, did he die and I didn't know?
So this is a quote that said he had gotten into a massive argument with his fiance and he thought, F it, I'm going to get loaded.
Because, you know.
So I did, but I used a little too much. Well, yeah. It was fun for a while. Then I passed out in the hotel hallway for 8 minutes. They told me later that I died. I came around in the hospital and checked myself out because we had a show the next night, which is amazing. I overdosed the morning after one gig and then died, so I guess that counts as a day off. Then got up and played the next night.
Guess it counts as a day off.
I'm pretty durable like that. It didn't faze me. So, yeah. That's Slash for you.
Ooh.
Which, you know, all right.
Right?
I don't want to get up for work. I'm tired. Well, did you die?
Yeah, right? I mean, dang. I think that, like...
David, you look a little tired today. Yeah, sorry, I died last night.
Sorry, I overdosed and died last night.
No, it's fine. It was just for like 8 minutes.
It's fine. I just wasn't breathing for 8 minutes. It's okay. It's cool.
Okay.
It's cool.
Saw Jesus. That was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Had a spirit.
He's judging so many of us, by the way. We're all doing a terrible job down here.
I now have life secrets. You all are idiots.
My boy J-Dog up there. We're buds now.
We tight. Me and Jesus were tight. I mean, Ozzy's died too.
Yeah. Honestly, are you even a real rock star if you haven't died?
Right.
Come on.
Right?
Come on.
I mean, Steven Tyler definitely has. Like, he said he's had a couple near-death experiences too.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Because you would think for a person that would be their rock bottom.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I almost died doing this.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't continue?
Yeah. But not Ozzy. Not Slash. I was listening to the Bill Burr podcast maybe a few weeks ago, and I'm trying to look it up right now.
Is he talking about them?
Yeah, just a second. I'm trying to look it up. So I guess there was a documentary about Quiet Riot that came out in 2014.
Okay.
It just talks about, like, how they got together and just the massive amount of, like, drugs and alcohol they got into, and, like, just, I mean, it goes behind the scenes of the band, but it just sounds, like, absolutely insane. So.
Well, you know what I think is so interesting to me is that, like, when I was researching Steven Tyler, I think he wrote a book, and he literally said, like, I would be borderline comatose.
Yeah.
Right before a show, and, like, just because of all the amount of substances that I had taken. And his management would be worried because he'd have to go on stage.
Right.
But, like, it's just amazing that they were able to get up and go on stage.
Yeah. It's funny to compare, like, those guys to, like, other artists or bands, because I'd watched a documentary about Katy Perry. I don't know if you saw it or not, but like there was
the one where they showed her therapy session.
I don't even remember that, but I remember it was around the time that she was with Russell Brand, and like he had broken up with her or something, like right before she was supposed to go on stage. And, you know, obviously, like, she's in tears or whatever, and they're trying to decide if she has to go up on stage or not, because she's just emotionally a wreck. And, you know, she eventually does. She puts on that, like, kind of half smile and is ready to go. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, but did you almost die? Did you almost die?
Right? Like, I feel like that, like...
Like, heartbreak is terrible, but did you almost die?
Do you have a bunch of, like...
Were you dead for 8 minutes?
Well, you know, like, that... But when you're taking heroin, which a lot of these guys did, that's a downer.
Right.
Like, there's the heroin nod.
Right.
Like, it comatoses you, and you're supposed to go on stage and be, like, this vibrant, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, hey! And sing.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
But you just shot up heroin.
No big deal. That's fine. It's okay. Just
So,
another day.
your heartbreak is awful, but did you just shoot up heroin?
Did your heart literally break?
Yeah.
Get up on stage.
Oh my god.
You know what? Musical artists just don't have that spunk. They don't have that moxie.
Well, you have moxie. It took me a second. I just feel like there's like rock and roll bands don't compare to like the Katy Perry genre.
No, they don't.
Like at all.
No. Pop stars today are awful.
Like, what pop star do you know? Like, okay. Goes up on stage, a fan throws a bat on there, and you bite the head off of it.
Right?
Like, what?
Okay.
What? Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Ozzy's done crazy stuff too.
Right.
Besides just biting the head off of a bat, but, you know.
Well, that's the thing, like, and I don't know, pop stars are kind of lame, too. I don't know, like, what show was Ariana Grande on? Like, she was on, like, a show on Nickelodeon. I don't even know. Like, was that how she got her start? Or I don't...
It was, oh my god, was it iCarly?
No, it wasn't. It was something like that, though. Sam and Cat, something like that.
I think so. I don't know.
And then
I was too
she
old when
eventually, yeah, no, I'm too old for her now. That's taken in every possible bad way. She's not for me. Still chasing after Julianne Hough.
Hey.
Which is so much better than Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Oof. But still, Julianne Hough, like, have you died? I don't think so. You're in too good of shape.
Well, so now you're getting into dancing.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all eating disorders.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't know, like...
Unless you're, like, Jennifer Lopez or something. I don't know.
You have to wonder if there's still, like, substances being used there. It's just not as known as, like, the rock and roll life.
I wonder if it's, like, steroids. Like, more like steroids, you know?
Probably.
More like stuff to keep you physically going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe that way, but not, like...
Because someone
heroin.
like Ozzy would be like, I don't really feel like living anymore. But then you got to, like, kick him in the head. Just like, bro, going on stage. You're like, all right, fine. One more show.
Oh, but that was... So when I was, like... I watched an interview with Ozzy, and he said a lot of, like, and I think even Steven Tyler said it, like, going on stage is part of their drug, too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they were able to, even if they were, like, so sedated with heroin,
Yeah.
they were able to push through it, because that was another, like, upper for them, was being on stage in front of an audience.
I'm sure, like, being on stage in front of, like, tens of thousands of people, like, that's got to do something, right?
Oh, yeah, they've all said, like, the rush you feel.
Yeah.
Like, you get such a high.
Yeah.
From being on there, even if you're not doing substances.
Yeah. Like, I was listening to John Mulaney, which is a comedian, and I guess he was interviewing or doing something with Mick Jagger on SNL, and, like, he just was the most arrogant guy. But John was saying, like, he's allowed to, like, he thinks that he's allowed to be, because, like, his whole life has been nothing but, like, tens of thousands of fans riling him up every single night.
Well, yeah. I mean, and think about it, like, I mean, Steven Tyler didn't even just describe it as, like, the audience riles you up. He's like, you get praise from that audience.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, if you go on stage every night, and how often are they touring? Like, a lot, right?
Yeah.
And all you're hearing and seeing is people that are like, oh my God.
Like, how many people show up for concerts? How many people buy your albums?
Yeah, it's going to go to your head.
Yeah. How many people out there treat you like gods?
Well, and so that's a huge thing, because I feel like if you are susceptible to addiction, then you're getting an ego from being on stage.
Right. There are different kinds of addiction.
You're in an environment that pretty much encourages substances.
Right.
Like, of course, that's like a perfect storm.
Yeah.
For addiction.
Right.
Like, egos, even Ozzy said, he's like, ego's involved in my addiction to alcohol and drugs. Like, that's my ego is involved in it.
That's right.
I was like, you're very self-reflective, Ozzy.
Look at you getting all sober.
It's probably all the AA he goes to.
No, for him, it's OO.
Yeah. But that's why when you go to AA, or you go to, like, Narcotics Anonymous, you go to any addiction treatment, you find a higher power.
Yeah.
Because if there's a higher power, your ego can't get involved with...
Right.
Or it helps to take your ego out.
Yeah. Didn't Elton John go through that too? Because there was the Rocket Man movie that came out a couple years ago, and I saw it, and I think, like, obviously that guy did so many drugs. Like, that's part of the movie, you know, but I guess, like,
I don't know much
I mean,
about him.
obviously since then, like, he's cleaned up, he's all good, like, and he seems like he got a lot more humble.
Yeah, well, and I think that's what, because, you know, there's the 12 steps in AA.
Yeah.
A lot of those 12 steps are being humble, because there's so much ego involved in addiction. And not meaning, like, you get a big head, but, like...
Right.
Ego meaning in the sense that, like, Freudian term.
Yeah.
Ego.
Right.
Meaning, like, ego's where... I'm not going to get into it. But... And I think there is a perfect storm when you're a rock star to have that ego.
Yeah. Gotta get those egos, man.
Lego my ego.
That's what Slash tells himself every night before he goes on stage. Lego my ego, man. As he downs another bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
But even something as simple as, like, a guy saying, like, I want a Diet Coke, and one just kind of appears in your hand. Like...
Well, right.
Like, it's that, like, people would do anything for you. People get stuff for you.
Well, and you have yes people, right?
Yeah.
Just when you have that level of fame, there becomes almost like this power.
Yeah.
To it, because you'll have people who around you that will just constantly say yes.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to...
Just imagine, like, Mick Jagger, the leader of the Rolling Stones.
Right?
Like, how many people say yes to him all the time, right?
Oh, my God.
Like,
I'm sure his drug use is probably interesting to look into, too. But...
Right. Good old Mick. And then we could do an entire podcast on the Beatles, I'm sure.
They actually...
I mean, they didn't do the hard stuff, did they?
John did.
John did.
Because of Yoko.
Oh, boy.
She introduced him to heroin.
We should bring him on the podcast sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about Yoko. I was like, oh, do not. I have some choice words for Yoko Ono. But they did a lot of more psychedelics.
Yeah.
And weed. Like, they were very that...
They did the cool drugs.
Well, they did, like, LSD, where it's not so much physically addictive.
Yeah.
Like, LSD is not physically addictive.
I know there are a lot of fans out there that are like, they're such a nice band, but it's like, they did so many...
They did a lot of acid.
Yeah.
A lot of LSD. A lot of psychedelics in general.
I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like interviews with, like, Paul McCartney, like, he seems like a chill guy, though. Like, nowadays.
Okay, so I think the Beatles, like, when you compare them to, like, Aerosmith and, like, Black Sabbath, even Queen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not so much Queen. But when you look at, like, the Doors.
Yeah.
Just the behavior of the frontmen.
Yeah.
Like, that's why everyone knew Ozzy.
Right.
And Steven.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Freddie didn't show his drug use as much as Steven and Ozzy did. But, like, the Beatles didn't go on stage and bite the head off of a bat.
Right.
Like, John Lennon and Paul McCartney weren't falling off the stage like Steven Tyler did because he was so high. Like, they never came off, like, you knew they were doing it. They weren't, like, shy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at half of their music videos.
Right.
In the laters. And just their music. Like, you knew they were doing psychedelics.
Yeah.
But they never were, like, had that, like, outrageous, like, behavior to them.
Yeah. Right. It's crazy, man.
So, yeah, they probably did.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember reading that's why they were distancing, because John was getting into the harder drugs. And all the rest of the three were like, no, man.
Right.
No, man, we're going to stay over here where it's chill.
Yeah.
Where it's chill.
Yeah.
We like the chill stuff.
Let's just do some weed, man.
Some psychedelics. We're good.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't need the hard stuff. But Paul is pretty chill.
Yeah.
He's a long storyteller, though.
I'm sure.
Have you seen, it's literally my favorite, why Dana Carvey is one of my favorite comedians ever. He plays Paul McCartney.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar. I don't know if I have or not, though.
I'll show you after the podcast.
Okay.
It's so funny. Because they were doing all the Beatles, and it gets to Paul, and he does such a good Paul.
Yeah.
And then I went to see Paul McCartney in concert, and he acted exactly like Dana Carvey. Like, the way he tells his stories.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, and then I was talking to John, and I said, hey, John. And he was like, talking about, like, a peanut thing. He's like, oh, look at the Snickers. It's packed with peanuts. And John, well, you know John. And like, he's doing all that. And then you go and listen to Paul McCartney, and he says it exactly like that.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
But he's chill.
Yeah.
I feel like the Beatles were just chill.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have that quintessential rock and roll life.
Right.
Yeah, they were the boy band life.
Yeah, they were like the most popular band ever.
I heard that one of their most famous gigs was Shea Stadium.
Okay.
I don't know where that is. I think it's in New York. And so many people, all the girls were screaming so loud.
Yeah.
They couldn't even hear themselves sing. So they were just literally, they just stopped singing and were going through the motions because the girls were screaming so loud.
Yeah.
They were like, I can't hear.
Right.
Like, I can't hear what John's doing. I can't hear what
Ringo's
doing. So, okay, we're just going to pretend. And it's just, yeah. They were, like, huge.
Yeah. Now, who are you getting excited for? Justin Bieber? Come on now. Where's the class that we had back in the day?
Right?
Come on. It's nothing, man.
No.
It's all auto-tune and electronic music.
There was an interview with Ozzy when I was looking up, and he was saying that in the 70s and 80s, like, when you were in a band, one person played guitar, one person drummed, one person played the bass.
Right.
There was a lead singer. They might have played the guitar or bass.
Yeah.
He's like, nowadays, he's like, I remember, I don't know if he asked someone or someone was asking someone in a band, like, hey, you want to jam?
Right.
And they were like, what's jam?
Right.
What's that?
Oof.
And he's like, there's the art of being in a band is no longer there.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in a garage.
Right.
Jamming, you know, with your friends anymore.
Oh, I like strawberry jam.
Do you? I like apple. But, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But you have to think.
I mean, even, like, later in the 90s, like, there's a video on YouTube of, like, Green Day when, they're playing, like, a high school gig when they're, like, that age.
Right, you're not getting...
It's like their instruments.
Right.
Actual instruments, how about that?
People actually know how to play them.
Right, yeah.
It's not just computerized.
Wow.
I tell ya.
I think it was at the Grammys one year, or some awards show that Ed Sheeran was playing, and, like, he was out there by himself.
That's how he plays. He doesn't have a band.
Most of it is electronic, and then he'll have a guitar that he occasionally strums. It's like, that makes me so upset. Like, if I'm going to go see... I can't just watch, like, one guy up there just, like, messing around with, like, equipment. Like, I need a band.
It's cool because the way he makes... Because I've seen him live.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's weird.
It's different.
It's different. Like, it's cool because he's the only one up there and he's just playing guitar. But then, like, the first time I saw him, he didn't have that electric.
Yeah.
It was just him.
Yeah.
His electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yeah.
Like, he had no auto-tune.
Right.
The second time, he had that, like, a little, like, pedal thing that would, like, do the electronic part. It's weird because I just think it's better to have a band. Like,
I need a drummer. I need a guitarist. I need a bassist.
Right? I always liked the drummers.
Yeah. Drummers are cool.
I always liked the drummers.
Yeah.
Ringo's my fave.
Yeah?
He's my favorite Beatle. He was no one's favorite Beatle, but he was mine.
Wow. Ringo breaks through the door. Someone likes me.
He's just so happy when he drums. Like, if you watch him when he drums, he's literally like with his head tilted with a smile, just drumming.
I'm just here for a good time.
Yeah. Like, you're so cute.
I mean, they're all there for a good time.
Yeah. Well, John just looks mad.
I'm the only one that's doing heroin.
John just looks like he's just like pissed off. Paul's just like, yeah,
I'm here.
I'm here. George is like, so chill. And then Ringo's just like, hi guys.
Hi, I'm here.
Hey.
Hi.
How are
I'm
you?
the drummer.
Do you want to hear my beat? It just makes me so happy to watch him drum.
You know who I really like too is the Beach Boys.
They're good.
I like them too.
Oh my God, Brian, right?
Maybe.
Who was the lead singer? Brian Wilson.
Okay, yeah.
He did a lot of drugs.
Cool, man.
Like, he was probably up there with Ozzy.
Yeah.
Steven. I'm telling you, man.
Kind of in that same-ish genre as, like, the Bee Gees. Yeah, those guys.
Well, you can tell by the way I walk.
You're a couple of octaves too low there.
I know, right? Staying alive. Still not hitting the octave.
No. Still a few octaves low. It's okay.
Listen, I'm telling you, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did a lot of drugs.
You know, going back to the Beatles, it surprises me because, like, they have an insane amount of hits. Like, seriously, every, like, 9 out of 10 songs they have are hits. But they weren't a band for a long time.
No.
Like, it was a surprising, what 5 or 6 years? Maybe a couple years longer?
7 or 8.
7 or 8?
I think.
It wasn't 10.
No.
It was less than 10.
Well, so they were a band for
But
10, but they came over to America. And the only reason I know this is because it was on my birthday that they came over to America.
Yeah?
Yeah. In 1964. So in America, they were like, they weren't even like, they were big for at the most 5 to 7 years. Like,
Yeah.
but they put out so much
yeah.
music.
Yeah. It's insane.
It is. Like, they were, I think they did, I mean, how many albums?
I don't even know.
They
a
have,
lot. I just know the big ones like Abbey Road.
Yeah,
Their
so they had
first Beatles album.
yeah, so they had the Meet the Beatles.
Yeah.
I think that was like their first EP.
Yeah.
They had Help, Hard
Yeah.
Day's Night.
And there was like Sgt. Pepper's. Yeah. Abbey Road.
Which, I can talk all about the conspiracy theory of Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, what was the thing? What song was it where like you play it backwards?
And it says John is dead. Or Paul is dead, man.
Which song was that?
Ooh. It was on Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah.
I'll Google it really quick.
All right.
But and if you look at it, the cover, Paul's the only one that's backwards.
Mm.
And
What was the theory? Like Paul was
they think
dead?
Paul's dead.
What?
And they replaced him with a lookalike, which is so dumb. Like, I don't understand how people, like, legit believe this.
Right.
But it's just, like, because if you look at, like, even the Abbey Road cover, they're
Yeah.
all walking with their right foot first.
Yeah.
All have shoes on, except for Paul. Paul's walking with his left foot first with no shoes.
Mm.
Which, Paul's left-handed, so maybe he walks with his
Right.
left foot first.
There you go.
Come on, people. Doesn't
Right.
mean he's dead.
Right?
It was kind of weird that he's the only one with his back turned on Sgt. Pepper's, but...
You know what? Maybe he just had a bad hair day. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
But...
We're fact-checking on the internet where everything is true.
So, I think it is... What's song is it? Why are you not telling me?
I love the internet.
Revolution 9. So it's not on Sgt. Pepper's, it's on the White Album.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you spin when it says number 9,
Yeah.
like that part of the song,
Yeah.
it will, if you play it backwards, it's like, Paul is dead, man, Paul is dead. And it's John Lennon's voice.
Is it?
It is. But, so...
I don't think I've actually heard that. So we'll have to YouTube it later.
We'll YouTube it later.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah?
It's literally John Lennon's voice. But the Beatles were they were experimenting. So they probably did that on purpose. Like, John Lennon probably really said that.
Right.
But Paul really wasn't dead.
Right, yeah.
They were like, oh, let's put a subliminal message in here and see what fans catch it. Like, just being total, like...
Which they did, which is kind of impressive. Like...
Right?
Who was the one person that actually played
Caught
that?
it,
yeah.
Right? Like, I guess...
Imagine how much people, were freaking out when they first heard that.
Dude, right? Like, I kind of want to use my dad's record player and get Revolution 9 or the White Album and play it backwards just to see if...
I've been collecting records lately.
Have you?
Yeah. I did get Abbey Road.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
I've been to Abbey Studios.
Yeah?
That album is great.
And you didn't take me.
That's your fault.
Okay.
No, that's a great album.
Yeah. So, classic rock, 70s and 80s, what are some of your favorite albums?
Ooh. My favorite... I'd have to say any Queen album. Well, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like Abbey Road.
Yeah.
I like Abbey Road. I think that's up there.
Yeah.
I don't know, what about you?
So, of course, I love my Bon Jovi. So, I love Slippery When Wet.
Ooh, Slippery When Wet is amazing.
Yeah. And then also their albums, New Jersey. And,
good album.
Yeah.
Good album.
The other one, whatever it was. Yeah, the one after that. And then AC/DC. I love the Back in Black album.
Back in Black.
Yeah, that had a lot of great songs on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Poison had some good albums. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
That's a good album.
Yeah, it was.
That's a good album.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Oh my god, what other...
Then,
I really like, what is the name of that one Megadeth album? Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah, there you go. And then Journey. Was it their Eclipse album?
I don't know too much about Journey.
I think they had an Eclipse album. Whatever one had, obviously Don't Stop Believin'.
Mm-hmm.
Their Frontiers album was really good too. Separate Ways, Lights, Faithfully.
Hold on, I'm looking up that one album that I like.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I like, the Rolling Stones' Beggar Blanket.
Okay, yeah, Rolling
Banquet.
Stones.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Beggar's Banquet.
Okay.
That is a good album.
Yeah.
I think that's later Rolling Stones, though.
Okay.
But they have that album.
I guess this is more like kind of the harder rock, but Metallica. Their Black album was good. Master of Puppets.
Megadeth.
Yeah. Ride the Lightning. Good stuff.
My uncle, so every time I'd get in the car with him, he loved Megadeth and Metallica.
Yeah.
And so there was one song, and as a kid, I thought it was the funniest song ever.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, it goes, "Hello, me. Meet the real me." And I was like, this is so funny. So I love that song, and that's why I love that album.
Yeah.
Of Megadeth. But I like Metallica, too. They have some good...
Yeah.
They have some good stuff.
Yeah. This is random, but when I went to see Keith Urban, it was like 2013, 2014, you know, there was like the line to get into the stadium or whatever, and we were behind, or in front of a group, and like one of the guys was talking about Journey, and he was saying that he went to them before, like when they were still not that well known. Which,
wow.
How cool would that be?
That's so
cool.
To
say you went to a Journey concert before they really made it.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. My sister's friends, their parents are like, I don't know, somehow got like really close seats to the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And took my sister. I was like, I hate you.
Right.
You don't even really like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah, that would be me with the Stones, or, Paul McCartney.
I saw Paul McCartney twice. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that man is... I was like, even my mom was like, she didn't really want to go.
Yeah.
But she was like, that was an amazing concert.
Yeah.
He was up there. He didn't have an opening act.
No.
He didn't, like... I don't think I saw him once drink water.
No. Of course not.
He was just up there for... We were there for 3 hours, and he was still going.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Like, it was 11 o'clock. He was still going.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, guys.
Yeah, here. Let's go.
I'm here. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I was like, Paul, bro.
Yeah.
You are, like, in your 70s.
Right.
And you're up there.
Yeah.
Like, killing it, like, better than 20, 30-year-old performers.
Yeah.
Like...
When I saw Bon Jovi, he's in his, like, 50s, or like late 50s now, but, he's running around the stage doing jumping jacks, doing his cheesy dance moves. They're all having a great time up there, and it's great.
I forced my dad to go to Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
And he's like, Richie Sambora is actually a really good guitar player.
Yeah.
I was like, I know.
Uh-huh. Tico Torres, that's my drummer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
like Ringo's 9.
Yeah, there you go. But, yeah, Bon Jovi puts on an amazing show.
They do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because when you go to those shows, like, and then you go to, like, I went and saw Taylor Swift. Because
it's just not as fun.
But, like, she's very theatrical.
Yeah.
But, like, it's nothing like...
A rock
show. Like, nothing.
Yeah. Like, if I wanted to see a theatrical show, I'd go see Romeo and Juliet, all right? Listen, I'd go see Les Mis. I came to listen to music, not see Hamilton, okay?
Oh, my God. Well, I thought it was so funny because everyone knows that Harry Styles wore this paper airplane necklace. Like,
right.
Everyone knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his fans know it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know it.
His fans know it. It was like this big, huge thing because they thought he was dating Louis Tomlinson and that he has the paper airplane. Louis does. So they're like, oh my God, they're a couple.
Yeah.
Anyway. She has a song about Harry. And to make it even more obvious that it's about Harry Styles, she had those paper airplanes flying around the...
Of course.
I'm like, it doesn't need to be this theatrical.
Right.
Just sing the song.
Right.
Like...
Or, like, that's kind of a pop star thing, though, because...
It is.
I think, like, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, like, it has to be theatrical with them. It's like, dude...
But I don't really care about what theatrical outfits you're wearing or what's around there. Like, you go to a country concert or you go to a hard rock concert.
Yeah.
Or a rock concert.
Yeah.
It's the atmosphere.
Because I went to Guns N' Roses as well, and that's...
You did not.
Yeah. And that's... I mean, they just came out on stage and just played rock music.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Your music should talk for itself. You shouldn't need all that, like...
Yeah. I saw... Well, because Green Day, their American Idiot tour, I saw, like, their Bold in the Bible tour.
No way.
No, I didn't actually see their tour, but I saw, like, the show.
Oh,
like
okay.
Like, the concert of it, and that just seems like I wish I could have gone to a show like that. Because it's, like, that punk rock, like, fire and, like...
Yeah. See, that I can get with.
Yeah. Because it's not, like, Taylor Swift theatrical. It's like, if you're going to be theatrical, I want to see, like...
airplanes flying.
If you're going to be theatrical, I want to see, like, fire.
Fire, right? Yeah. Give me some pyrotechnics.
Yeah, that's right. But, dude, I know I had tickets, and I think you did, too, for the
me and
Green
Caitlin
Day
did.
show.
Yeah. I hope they don't cancel it again. But now, apparently, I heard, and I'm very excited, and I hope this actually holds up. Gathering for concerts is safe.
Well, yeah.
Which I'm excited.
Yeah.
I hope it lands.
Because I know Bon Jovi, like this past summer, I wanted to go to so many concerts. Like Bon Jovi was performing, Keith Urban was performing.
You were going to take me to Bon Jovi, right?
Yeah. Listen, that was back before we started the podcast, so...
Just saying. You knew then that I liked Bon Jovi, because we've talked about it.
Okay. But, like, those two artists, like, I've seen. So it's like, I haven't seen Green Day yet, so...
I know.
And I had gotten seats, like, really close to the stage, too. And then it's like, oh, sorry, guys, it's not happening. Ah!
They rescheduled it, so it's going to happen.
But, like, there's not a date yet. Ugh.
Is there? I thought there was.
I don't know. I haven't followed up with it. I'm just trying to get through this year, man.
I'll have to double check with Caitlin.
I'll have to text Billy Joe Armstrong. Be like, hey, man.
Call him.
I will.
You should get him on the podcast.
Billy, you want to come on?
He seems like he would be very interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he's done his fair share of drugs.
No, Trey Cool, the drummer, would have done the drugs, I think.
Really? Not Billy Joe?
I'm sure they both would, but Trey just has that personality of like, you're a little too weird to not have done drugs. The only normal-ish one was Mike Dirnt, the bassist.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like, look at is there even bands nowadays like that?
I don't
That's
know.
even comparable?
No.
There really isn't.
Dude, okay, like, I want good hard rock bands like the 70s and 80s. There's nothing like that anymore.
No.
I want good, like, punk rock from the 90s.
Like, here's the thing. Like, okay, if you look at even, like, the Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't have all these bunch of hits, but they're still good.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that nowadays.
No.
Like,
or
at
like,
all.
Who is it? Billy Joel? Who constantly, like, sells out stadiums. Mm-hmm. Like, he was never a hard rocker, but, like, he had jams, and he's selling out stadiums all the time.
Right. Exactly. Like, look at Queen's legacy. Like, they're still touring with Adam Lambert as their lead singer. Like,
yeah. Like, that's cool. I mean, like, nobody's going to beat Freddie Mercury.
No, so I saw them once, and they probably, I don't know if they still do this, but there was one song I think they wouldn't let him sing, but they brought the piano that Freddie played, It was during Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
And they showed, like, they put a spotlight on the piano.
Yeah.
And then just showed a video of, like, Freddie singing it in concert.
Yeah.
Playing that piano. So they brought his...
Yeah.
That, but, like... It goes to show, though, like, even though Freddie's not there, they were still bringing out people.
Right.
To come to this concert.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, think about it. You're really only seeing Brian May and Roger Taylor.
Right.
No one knows who they are.
No.
No one knows that Roger Taylor's the drummer and, you know, like, they might know Brian May because he's a good guitarist, but, like...
Oh, and he's got the hair.
And the hair. And the hair. But, like, they're not going to bring people out, just the two of them.
No.
So, like, Freddie Mercury's legacy is that big. Like, you don't have people nowadays that would happen to.
Right. I don't know. I don't know, man. Nothing
and it's
like
funny, though, because if you think about it, have you heard Ozzy talk lately?
Probably not in the last couple of years.
You can't understand him.
I'm sure.
And he mumbles and mumbles and mumbles.
I wonder why. Probably all the drugs.
You know. Just saying.
Ozzy, how did this happen? Was it the constant drug and alcohol abuse?
I don't know.
Could have been.
Could have been. But he's like, listening to Keith Richards, you really can't understand him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Like, me and my dad tried to watch this documentary on him, and he was speaking, and we both looked at each other, and we're like, what?
Right. You need subtitles.
Do you want to turn this off? Because all I heard was... It's like the Charlie Brown teacher.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you thought it was interesting to actually look into these people.
Yeah.
And, like...
I just want to listen to the music now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
Yeah. That's right, it is.
So good.
So much better than today's music.
Blech.
Blech. Anyway. Whatever.
We probably talked way too long, didn't we?
No, we're good.
Yeah, okay.
We're fine.
Perfect.
But yeah, this is good. It's fun to talk about other people's problems.
You know.
Just to let you know that you don't have it as rough.
It's like when you watch Intervention. You're
Right.
like, oh, my life really isn't that
Right.
bad.
Wow.
Which is bad to say, but it's so true.
Yeah. Oh, well.
You know?
Anyway, I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Got not a whole lot left. We're just going to sit here and jam out probably. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, that's right.
Because when you talk about these people, you just want to listen to their music.
Yeah, you do.
You know?
Yeah.
It's fun times.
Yeah.
I actually really, I don't know about you, but I really liked looking and researching these people because what I found is, like, you know their reputation, right? Like, everyone knows Ozzy bit the head off of a bat.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that Ozzy's known for, like, his, like, outrageous behaviors.
Yeah.
When he was doing drugs. But when I was, like, listening to interviews with them, and they were talking about, like, their drug use in that time, it really, like, humanized them, and you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just your persona up there.
Right.
Like, it was cool to get a glimpse into, like, oh, this was their life.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
This is their background.
Right. Yeah, man. That's right.
I thought that was cool.
It is cool.
But I also like people's stories.
Right. Yeah.
I get into that.
Yeah, for sure. It's good stuff.
You know?
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. I guess that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
Have a good week, y'all.
Stay safe.
Let's get this year over with.
Right? One more month.
Starting to wrap it up. Yeah.
And 2020 can go bye-bye.
But don't we say that about every year?
We do.
But especially this year.
You know, I'm not going to say this year that, like, I hope that 2021 is better, because I said that last year and look what happened.
Well, also you say, like, oh, next year can't be as bad as this year, and then 2020 happens.
Right.
Like, we can't say that this year because we don't want something worse than 2020.
Well, everyone said that about 2019, right?
Yeah.
Like, this year was awful. There's no way 2020 could be worse.
2020 comes in like, hey.
What up?
How you guys doing? You called.
You thought. Cute. Cute.
Here's a virus during election year.
Yeah, right. Right? You know, all the Democrats were like, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say that.
Anyway. All right. That's it for us. Have a good night. Have a good week.
Stay safe and see you next week.
Bye-bye.